just, I'd like to pick it up and move it. We live in Jerusalem. I'd like to pick it up and move it there. See fair. Get this extraordinary gift of Akiba Academy. It's just amazing. Yes.
Excuse me, Dr. Schroeder, could you use the microphone?
Microphone, yeah. Okay. So the session this evening has to do with whether we can see confluence as opposed to conflict between Torah and Teva. Teva being the Hebrew word for nature. Okay, there's the way that the world is put together from nature's point of view seem to be similar or different from the description we get in the Torah versus the description that scientists get us. And I mentioned it last year, but I'll mention it again this evening. It's a controversial topic because there's such a vested interest in it, so subjective, this whole idea. It must be only nature, it must be only all divine. It's like it's polarized. And one of the earliest times that I had a chance to, not on this particular topic, but to get on such a controversial platform, and it wasn't about the Bible, it was just about pure science, was when I was at grad school at MIT. My background's MIT. I live in Israel now for many, many decades, but at that time I was just about to present my defense for my PhD thesis, my doctor's thesis. And that's a big deal. And the thesis was already presented, but now I had to defend it. And about a month before the time I had to meet the committee to defend it, there was a conference taking place in Houston, right around the corner. And it was an international conference on exactly the field in which I was working. It had to do with radioactivity, radiation, and the natural environment. So this is a great opportunity. And I submitted a paper and it was accepted. There were about 500 people attending, not to hear me. There were many, many people speaking, one talk after another. And finally, I was giving my talk. I started to present the information, but as I looked out at the group, and there were about hundreds of people present, I noticed just in front of me and off to my left was my bad luck. The world's leading authority in this field was present. That's what you don't want. You know, you can push it over on some people, but him I couldn't put it over. So I stated, during the talk, the premise and the results I had. He looks me right in the eye and goes, devastated, devastated. Then I used an overhead projector, it was a 4-power projector, because I thought maybe I wasn't clear what I'd said. Looks me like, he came up after the talk and he said, that was the best talk I've ever heard. Yeah, I repeat that because it's an education in how not to accept what the audience is saying about you.